When you look for a bank, choose a partner with local expertise and local decision-making. Veritex Community Bank offers solutions and a true business ally. We look forward to building your future. We're Veritex Community Bank, true to your business, true to Texas.
Hey, to my Houston and Dallas family, I'm your host, KG Smooth. Welcome to week 3 of Veritex Community Bank's Funding Your Future. I host the Quiet Storm Magic 102.1 here in Houston. Some of you may remember my face from the dating reality show Ready to Love on the Oprah Winfrey Network. Well, Veritex Community Bank, my good friends, are back at it again, with April being Financial Literacy Month. Veritex is presenting Funding Your Future, and we're giving you this series so they can tell you the truth on how to fund your future for a better financial life. So tonight, we will be talking about small businesses in 2022, post-pandemic, and inflation, which is affecting us all. So I would like to bring up my panelist for the evening. She is the SBA leader at Veritex Community Bank. Ladies and gentlemen, Erica Hirsch is on the Funding Your Future. How are you?
Hi, KG. Thank you so much for having me and for having Veritex Bank. We really appreciate it.
Thank you all. This has been amazing. Our next guest, good friend, great person, one of my favorite people in Houston, Texas. She is the interim president for the Greater Houston Black Chamber of Commerce. Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely Carol Guess is on the panel. How you doing?
Doing great, KG. I need you to be my PR guy. I'm going to take you everywhere I go. Great to be here.
I would love to tag along. Just let me know. And our third panelist for this evening, he is the president and CEO of Remodel HTX. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eddie Mendoza.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Thank you for the invite. I really appreciate it.
Man, thank you all for being here. Before we get started, just a couple of stats. We always start the show off with some stats that are always surprising to me. 58% of small business owners start their new independent business totally from scratch. No help, nothing. They're doing it all. I didn't know that. That's a lot. I thought folks was going out here to the bank getting them small business loans, but I guess that's what we're also here to talk about. 18% of new business owners purchase their independent business from another small business owner. 19% of small business owners chose to invest in a brand new franchise location, while just 6% purchased an existing location. And so today, we are going to dispel some of that and get you some free game on small businesses. So first, let's get to all of you all and tell us exactly what it is that you do, your expertise. To Erica?
Sure. I am an SBA lender with Veritex Community Bank. And what that means is I do SBA, guaranteed government-backed loans, usually 7(a) loans, and would love to speak to anybody that would be interested in that.
Thank you. Carol, tell us about you.
Well, I currently serve as the interim president for the Greater Houston Black Chamber of Commerce. Been with the chamber for a while. I came off of the board of directors to serve in this role. I'm a native Houstonian. I'm also an attorney, and we help small businesses every day realize their dreams, even in the middle of a pandemic.
Nice. And Eddie, tell us about Remodel HTX.
So my name is Eddie Mendoza. Remodel HTX, pretty much it's Remodel Houston, Texas. So born and raised in Houston. I do construction. We do residential, commercial, and multifamily. So we build new houses, we do renovations, and we just love being here in Houston and love giving back to the community. Everybody needs a house, so we're always busy.
Nice. Well, let's get into it. Carol, what have you seen around the growth in small businesses, and some of the challenges?
Well, it was really interesting, and this was kind of a shocker to me, that in the middle of the pandemic, at the height of it, there were so many small businesses started. Like 4.3 million small businesses were started in the United States. And that was due largely to people having to leave their jobs, getting laid off, and then some entrepreneurs that were already in the market taking advantage of opportunity. You saw people who were tailors pivot toward making clothing for frontline workers. I mean, they use their talents in a different way. And so now that we're post pandemic, they're having to adjust, especially with this great resignation. One of the things that our members have complained about is the shortage of workers. And the way they've been able to kind of meet that challenge is by offering packages, things that they had never offered wait staff before, like benefits, flex hours, that sort of thing. And so that's an example of one of the challenges that small businesses face, and then an example of how they're meeting that challenge.
So, well, speaking of the challenges, what ways have you seen small business owners overcome those challenges?
Is that directed?
Yeah, Carol, that's for you. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were speaking to Erica.
No, Carol. Yeah. What ways have you seen small business owners overcome those challenges?
Well, some of the things that I've seen happen is partnering with companies that don't have a competing interest. So, say for example, you're a barbecue company and you sell barbecue plates, but you need marketing. Well, you can help that other business by offering free lunches to their employees, and then exchange, you get marketing services. So it's a bartering, partnering type relationship. They get their needs met, and the barbecue company gets their needs met. Some of these businesses have come up with really, really interesting ways that they can help each other. Also, what I've seen is, just simply cutting back, offering smaller packages of activities or services to the community that are best sellers, rather than focusing on other products or services that may have done well, maybe marginally well, but shifting focus from that to the things that do better as far as sales are concerned. And so those are some of the things that I've seen, some of the ways that I've seen them overcome their challenges.
I mean, it's very smart. I mean, the bartering system is, how we used to operate before all of this corporate industrial way of doing things, this structure came about. I mean, I'm sure how they did it back in the Little House on the Prairie days, where, oh, okay, well, I do this and you do that, and I don't. So for that to be applied, that same theory to be applied to small businesses and how they're helping each other is very smart.
Well, yeah, and then also I just wanted to add too, a lot of small businesses are relying on their relationships, the relationships that they've had with vendors in the past. So you don't want to treat anyone as small. It's the relationships over time that'll help you get the supplies that you need for whatever you're doing, manufacturing, selling products, food service, whatever the case may be. If you have good relationships with your vendors, your suppliers, people along your own personal supply chain, you might be able to get a little bit more, and you may give a little more in the beginning, but then it'll turn around and bless you in the end. You'll get some more on when it's your time to get what you need to get.
Okay, Carol, I got one more for you, though, my love. So since we're living and adjusting with this COVID pandemic, how are small businesses surviving in the time of inflation, especially gas prices increasing, dealing with the supply chain issues with the truckers and the what do you call them, the ships that are out in in the Gulf and in the Pacific and Atlantic just sitting? Like, how are they surviving?
Well, unfortunately, KG, some of those prices, the inflation that we see, have to be passed along to consumers. And in some instances, there are specials being offered, maybe specials packaging again, because you can cut down on prices and fees when you offer products and services as a package. But a lot of those costs, unfortunately, are passed along. And then also, what I've seen with the restaurant business is that there are actually smaller portions of food being served, simply because you can only get your hands on so much. And so in some instances, you have to take what you can get. And so, they're trying to deal as best they can. They don't want to run off the consumer, but unfortunately, inflation just spans across industries, across just everything that we essentially touch. And at the end of the day, it ends up being the consumer that's paying the price so that these businesses can stay open.
Well, we're all feeling it. I mean, this hyperinflation, as they're calling it. For those that are listening, and I'm just going to, and I'm going to get back on script, but somebody give the definition of inflation. What is inflation? Some people don't understand. So if I can just get a, inflation for dummies explanation as to what it is and how it is affecting the everyday person that is watching this broadcast right now, please explain. Anyone, it's open to anybody.
Well, the way I would explain it is essentially you don't have enough supply for the demand. So there's high demand and short supply, which increases the price of things. So, when there's something in demand and there's not enough of it, the price goes up, like back in those days when we used to go to the club and you'd be standing outside in the line and it was $10 at 10 p.m.
Right.
And now everybody wants to get in. So the price is $30. So I would say that is an easier way to describe what inflation is.
Anybody else want to chime in on that, for the audience? I like to dumb it down for the audience. We got to keep it simple, stupid, and some, they hear the word and they know that they're being affected, but they not know how that inflation thing, works. So that's why I just wanted to simplify it for us.
I'd be happy to, KG.
Yes.
I was just going to say that when over time we have an increase in prices over a number of things, and we also have a decrease in value of those things. So that's inflation for you. Very simple.
And please, people know, and I know that you feel it, we are in the stage as what the media and the government is calling hyper inflation. Eddie, I'm gonna come to you right now, my guy. How's the company culture changing with small businesses as we live and adjust with the pandemic?
Well, pretty much right now, the culture, like Carol was saying, there's a shortage in workers. So you really appreciate your team. You take care of them like you always used to, but now more than ever, if you got a good solid team, you make sure that they stick with you, because right now everybody's looking for good workers. So that's the culture. We try to keep everybody happy, make sure we don't want to overwork them, but make sure everybody's taking their piece of the pie home and everybody's winning.
Now, why is that? Why is that an issue now? Does it have something to do with these corporations, forcing their employees to get something injected in them that they did not want into them, and that's why, there's a shortage of workers, or is it something else to it?
No, I just think that there's a shortage of workers because there's just so much work, and right now they're trying to look where the best place that they could work at. There's a lot of companies offered, like she was saying, different benefits and stuff like that. But for us, our guys, they've stayed with us because we really took care of them during COVID. We did what we had to do with PPP and getting all the loans we could. And we were really blessed in actually 2020, where we actually picked up a really good contract with Starbucks, Cane's, and Five Guys, and we actually picked up a night shift. So we ended up being even more busier than ever. We got day shift, night shift. We do everything from store closure, pressure washes, trash hauls. So we got into a different realm. We did facility maintenance. So we kind of got to pivot. We went from being a general contractor and builder to now we're doing facility maintenance, where Starbucks closed all of their, everything was closed. So Starbucks basically said, if there's a Starbucks here and 3 minutes down there's another one, and this one doesn't have a drive-through, we're shutting it down. Everybody went lean, everybody went smarter, more efficient, and they took care of all the maintenance. If all the parking lots needed to be pressure washed, we did that. If all the parking lots needed to be striping, so they were very proactive. And Starbucks is always busy. You're never gonna have a time to do all this maintenance things. So they stepped up and they kept us really busy. We actually did like over 1,000 work orders in 2020. We did like a Texas tour. We did Houston, Austin, Dallas, San Antonio, Fort Worth, College Station, El Paso, and we were really blessed with that. So that's pretty much our culture. Our main goal was to keep our guys busy, and we found a way to do it. And we had to do it at night, but they were happy to work at night as long as they had a job and they were healthy. They were pretty solid.
So, okay, so I can X out the vaccine. Does it have to do with pay or like what? Because listen to you, like using the Starbucks situation. It's like, well, if you all are cutting the stores, cutting it down, downsizing, everybody is being smarter, which in turn, I'm sure some employees are going to get cut. But then now that things are back up, now the companies want to turn around and say that there's a shortage of workers. I'm kind of confused.
Well, yeah, in regards to Starbucks, I would say that they kind of learned and saw that they have them too close. So that's pretty much for any company. They kind of looked at where are we overspending, what are we overdoing, and all the workers that they cut, those stores, they relocated them to other stores. So we kind of got to learn from Starbucks, and I'm thinking Starbucks is the best. So our company, we just did the same thing. Like, what can we do to pretty much learn from the best to be the best? And we did the same thing. We just pivoted, and we took care of our guys when it was rough. I personally, if they needed anything, they could call me. I would sell them some money. I needed to take care of my guys. That's number one. And as long as they're happy, I'm happy. And we went through the rough times, and we made it out. And now we're in the good times, and we're staying steady busy. In terms of renovation, every homeowner that was in their house for 3 months locked down, they basically said, I need a covered patio. I can't be inside. Let's build a covered patio. That kitchen that I've been putting to the side, I need to do the countertops right now. I need the stairs done now. So everybody has a project on hold. They basically just let the floodgates open, and our guys were slammed. We literally had a day shift, night shift. We literally had a line, people waiting for us to go to their house and renovate it. So we're pretty busy. And in regards to that, like I said, the main key is keeping your guys happy, keeping them busy, making sure they get a paycheck every Friday and food on the table. So that was our culture, taking care of our guys.
To know, because I got a couple of guys that are actually looking for jobs, and to get this information that there's a shortage of workers.
Definitely.
I don't know if they're not looking hard enough or what it is. But Erica, let me come to you.
All right.
What are some of the resources that Veritex Bank has for small business owners? I know that you all participate in the PPP programs, but now since those are over, what are some ways for businesses to continue to grow?
You know what? We have a wealth of information and resources for small business owners, from community banking to SBA banking to women in business to business credit cards. There is so much that a business owner can gain from Veritex Bank. The first thing to do is always just to pick up the phone and have that warm introduction with a banker, because you're never going to know whether you are ready, whether you are qualified or not, until you have that conversation. And I love that we talked about businesses pouring into themselves and pouring into their customers and what their needs are. And that's what we're all about. It's my job to get you across the finish line, and it's our job to do things like this and to educate you. And if we cannot help you, we're going to get you in the right spot. So that's what we're all about. I also have some alternative resources that are up here on the screen that are grants available that I know about. So would love to hear from you and give you some help.
Indeed. Eric, I'm gonna Eddie, excuse me, Eddie, I'm gonna come back to you, Erica. I don't know where that came from. Has advertising and marketing changed since the pandemic for you and your company?
For me, yes, we focus a lot on social media and that type of advertisement. So I know during whenever we're in the pandemic, we focus on that because I'm usually going to like at least 1 or 2 networking events a week. Mm-hmm. So I'm a really people person. I build relationships. Just like Carol was saying, you got to have solid relationships. And I've been growing these relationships for the last 5-7 years where I got good relationships that people, they kind of think of me whenever they need anything renovated or new construction. But we really focus on social media when we couldn't gather. So that was the best way to do it, or just following up with all our customers during the pandemic via text or email. So just staying engaged and connected.
that's key for businesses to stay, connected and engaged with your customers, because it's little small things like that that keep us coming back and let you know that and that keeps the customer, loyal. And in all honesty, um, Erica, what are some ways that you have seen some small businesses increase their revenue?
Well, the number one thing that I have seen recently is that businesses are focusing on what they have been doing already to make revenue, and that is focusing on the customers that they already have and going back to those customers and saying, what can we do to keep your business? And could you maybe post a review for us? And maybe could you tell other people about us? Or could you help us maybe with making another product? Could you help us make another location in another area? Is there things that we could do? And so no lie, just the other day, I did not need this product, but I had bought this product before. I got a text and I was like, yeah, I think I want that. And I bought that product. So, I mean, that's just an example of somebody just sending a simple text and me purchasing $60 worth of something that I never thought about that day. So, just an example.
For sure. That I think that's all of us. I mean, you're scrolling the streets of Instagram and you come across wow, this is like a pretty cool shower head.
Right, exactly.
Or like you said, and here lately, Erica, I myself have been getting random text messages with products on them.
It's the text messages. Yes.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. So to everybody here, I just feel like this has gone on. I feel like we just got here, and I'm already at my last question. What are some tips that you would give some small business owners that are trying to recuperate from the pandemic, or for those that are just trying to get started in this current economic climate? I'll start with you, Erica.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I just volunteered myself. Number one tip that I would give is to get out there and network, and because your network is going to be key. There is always going to be someone that knows someone that is going to be a resource for you. And that is how I got this job, and that is how I help somebody else, and that's how I give loans to people. And so I really think that could help you in your business as well.
Okay. Carol?
So what I would offer is that to take better care of your customers and your employees. I think one of the lessons that we've learned coming out of the pandemic, I mean, we're still essentially in, but people are getting out, I think, is to take care of your people, your customers and your employees. Offer them a little bit more than you offered in the past. With customers, make them feel special. You may want to do something specific for certain customers that have been loyal to you over the years. A loyal customer and a loyal employee will survive any economic issue. This country has seen pandemics. We had the 2008 market scare. We've had all kinds of things over the years, inflation like we have now, etc. But if you're good to your people, both your customers and your employees, offering them a little bit more, being more understanding and listening more, I think that for new businesses, people that are trying to get back out or starting, those are two key issues that you can focus on to really make your business better.
Mm-hmm. Eddie, what would you say?
For sure. I think, like they said, networking and relationships, that's the main key. In regards to relationships, having a good relationship with your banker, just in case anything ever happens again with like COVID scare, your banker got all your information. He got your back pretty much. And in regards to networking, like being part of a chamber. It could be whichever chamber you feel comfortable with, but they always provide resources for you. They give you the SBA, the resources, how to do that's how I learned how to do the IDLE, how I learned how to apply for the PPP. I was lost and I got just a video and I figured it out. So resources and networking is key. And for anybody just starting, I would just say, just take a crack at it. And you don't have to start from the bottom, like you were saying. Some of the statistics in the beginning, you could just take over a company. So I'm personally, I got a lot of trades. So I got plumber, electrician, and everything. And my plumber, his daughter's a nurse. His son doesn't want to be a plumber. So he's basically like, what am I going to do when I'm done? And I said, well, I buy it from you. You can still be the plumber. I'm the guy that's going to operate it, project manager, and we'll just split it 50-50. So there's always, every day, there's somebody that's going to retire and they got a book of business. So just buy that. And you don't got to start from zero. You can start from 80 or 70%. And pretty much like a contractor, that's what I'm looking for, is basically looking for any books of business that I could take over, because I have the relationships with them for 15, 20 years. And we trust each other and we know we do solid work. So you don't have to start from zero. That would be my thing, is look for someone that you know and just keep on rolling with the train that they got and support each other.
Indeed. And I'm not an expert like any of you all, but I would like to add your mindset. I think the way that you think about things, especially your business, if you want to start, if you go into the mindset like, oh, maybe it's not going to work out because we're still in the pandemic and all that, guess what? It's not going to work out. But if you go into it with a positive attitude, like, oh, this is going to be good, I'm going to get what I need, everything is going to come, and then it is going to work out that way. I'm speaking that from personal experience with, starting my own wine and just seeing, just getting the ins and outs of business and customers. Let's take some questions from the audience, from YouTube and Facebook. Linda asks, are the Greater Houston Black Chamber services available to me, as well as the other guest panelists?
Yes, our services at the chamber are available to all. Now, of course, there are certain privileges that come with membership in the chamber, and those are for members only. Those who have invested into the chamber are given a little bit more, but in general, our services are open to everyone. We welcome everyone.
Indeed. Zena says, I need to know how I can get a grant. Can you put that back up? Small business grant. So, Lena, you go to grants.gov and register on the System for Awards Management page. And then also I see this, Hello Alice, Women in Business. Go Google that, check that out, or DuckDuckGo, whatever your search engine is. People Fund, Buyout Small Business Accelerator, and loans and grants. Fiserv plus Clover Back to Business Grant Program. This True Fund, what is that? Empower what?
Empower Her.
Empower Hermit program. Yes. Oh, Empower Hermit. That's really clever, whoever put that together. And of course, Empowered by GoDaddy, which is also another great resource to get your domain for your website. And also we have a business directory. We do a Buy Black Business campaign that we have on Magic 102.1's website here in Houston, the Magic here in Houston. So log on to myhoustonmagic.com. That's magic with a J. And you can find that Buy Black Business directory there. Final thoughts. Any final thoughts from the three of you all?
Thank you so much again for having us. This is my second year, and I really enjoy this every year. I think it is a great resource, and it's a great conversation, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you, KG.
Thank you, Erica. Next to Carol.
I just want to say thank you to Magic 102. I We're here in Houston. That's our radio station, and Veritex Bank for asking us to be a part of this. The chamber is very, very interested in helping small businesses to grow and sustain. We offer trainings, we offer networking opportunities, and we act as a support to small businesses and partners like Veritex Bank. So very happy to be here and to share with our small businesses. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you. And Eddie.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for the invitation. I really appreciate it. I hope all the listeners got a little bit of knowledge, got a little bit of motivation, and if you want to chase something, just make it happen. Like you said, it's all about your mindset. You could do it. Just you got to take that first step. And one of the main things that I always go based off is you're only one person away from success. So if there's one customer that just says, "Hey, I got 1,000 Starbucks I want you to do," you just make it happen. Don't figure out, don't overthink it. Just do it and learn along the way. So just take
I love that, Eddie. What a great way to end this. You're one person away from success because you never know, bro. The bar of the night. That was it. Listen, we want to thank you all for tuning in on this Thursday evening, to our Houston audience and, of course, to our family up in Dallas. Thank you so much for tuning in to Veritex Community Bank's Funding Your Future series as we continue to edutain you during Financial Literacy Month. Next Thursday, 6 p.m., we are back at it again. It'll be our last panel, and we will be talking about women in business. Definitely excited for that. There'll be a different little backdrop that I'll have next week, but I cannot wait to see you. This is going to be amazing. So thank you all so much for tuning in to Veritex Community Bank's Funding Your Future. I am your host, KG Smooth, and I will see you on the radio.
When you look for a bank, choose a partner with local expertise and local decision-making. Veritex Community Bank offers solutions and a true business ally. We look forward to building your future. We're Veritex Community Bank, true to your business, true to Texas.